do an update on a previous episode we talked about. We were recently talking about Encore God Fire Convoy, how he was kind of overpriced for what you get, and we were kind of questioning if this was going to be a straight up repaint. Does he come with extra stuff or anything? So we have an update now, literally almost like the day after we posted the episode. Amazon Japan did a listing with a ton of photos and explaining everything. Now, here's what we're getting pretty much. You're getting the Fire Convoy, you're getting the God Magnus, and each one of them are going to have a what is dubbed as anime accurate repaint. Now, on the Fire Convoy side of things, what does that mean exactly? The blue is slightly more of that baby blue, you know, animation cell show accurate. The chest area of the smaller robot, which was originally kind of a chrome paint, which was prone to scuffing in the past, is now just a more matte blue, which again matches more the animation model. Little tweaks here and there of color, but otherwise nothing too massive. On the larger Super Optimus Prime, again, the only real distinctive noticeable differences is the color blue that was used on the Super Optimus Prime Super Fire Convoy. They don't have a shot of the Matrix in his chest, so I don't know what was changed there, but maybe they added some more paint there. When you get to God Magnus, the blue, this one's a weird one because this one I feel is not anime accurate, where the anime version of God Magnus was a much more lighter blue. This one goes for a darker, almost purple kind of blue. But I guess they had to do something different.
Yeah.
So, and also the same thing, his bumper, which originally was a chrome blue, is now again that same matte blue, which I think really, when you then do the combined mode of Godfire Convoy, really takes away the dynamic nip, because that bumper made a nice chrome chest
Yeah.
for Godfire Convoy, and that's lost. The big difference here, in my opinion, which also adds to the anime accuracy, was it is confirmed you get the Super God Sword.
Ah, okay, there we go.
Now, the Super God Sword is confirmed with it. It does have the handle, so it is pretty much a straight up, recasting of the original one that came with the 2-pack in Japan for car robots. But also, the Super God Sword this time is 100% show accurate. The original God Sword that came with the 2-pack was a light blue with some gray areas and stuff, and that was more or less that. In the actual, now keep in mind, the Super God Sword appeared in the last episode of Car Robots or Robots in the Skies, in literally the last 5 minutes of it, and it only appeared for about 3 or 4 seconds. If you follow my Twitter, I actually posted an animated GIF of it showing its entire appearance in its entirety, just to show what it looked like at one point. And it wasn't like a baby blue like the original 2001 release of the toy. So the one that they include here actually is a clear kind of
Purplish blue.
purple clear.
Like
The point,
like Energon cubish purple
yeah,
in a way, I
yeah,
guess is the
which
best
is
way.
which is a little more accurate to how it looked in the animation. It's still not 100% how it was, but it's much closer than what the original one was. You can't see it in the images, but what I am happy about that they did keep this time around, which was absent, because this, keep in mind, this mold was casted from the original Master Sword that's held by Fortress Maximus. So what's cool about this that they kept on it, at least, is you can't read it, but near the top of the hilt, it has written "Till All Are One" written on it, and it's very hard to read it. It's right there. You have to like zoom in very well to see it. Actually, I think you might be able to, but I'm gonna try to get a nice zoomed in shot on it. But they still left the "Till All Are One" markings on it, which is really cool
You can
that they
kind of
left
see
that.
it if you're looking, if you know.
Yeah, if you look a
It's
little, I'm
like
gonna try to
it's
get.
going in a diagonal way,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
like
read
at
it.
the
So, but it's cool
base
that
of the
they left that
actual.
in, and that was something that was unique only to the original Car Robots casting and repaint of that sword in its lineage, because that sword first started as Fortress Maximus's sword. It was Grand Maximus's sword. When they did Brave Maximus, they included that hilt piece so that Fire Convoy could also hold it. And again, Really cool that they include it. This goes back now to the question. Now that we know, is it still worth that $300 or that 30,000 yen? I'm still saying no. Um, that sword, as much as to me is really still is the linchpin, it is the most important thing about this. If you're just in it for those figures, once again, there's options, man. Someone even pointed out in the comments of our Facebook group and stuff like that. They even mentioned failing all those examples that we gave in the last video to pick up Fire Convoy and God Magnus. Sonokong in Korea also released those molds. And Sonokong, I've messed with Sonokong molds in the past. They're 100% like the Takara ones. There's no loss in quality at all. And those ones are even more cheaper to pick up. So, like, just you get a Sonokong, Magnus and Fire Convoy probably at $30 to $40 a piece, $80 for the pair. You can't even compare it to $300. If you're someone who's like, well, I got to get the sword, then get those two for 80, and now you got like now you got $120, or excuse me, not $120. Yeah, $120 about, more or less, to play with, that you could throw at people and go, hey, give me your sword.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't need
Actually, it would be 220, not 120.
Oh, okay.
$220. God, it's hard to do math on the fly, but $220 to play with, and just like, I'm pretty sure you could get a God Master sword, or Super God sword in this case, for that kind of money. But
And in this day and
like,
age, probably somebody's shape weighing it or something.
yeah, you know what? The funny thing is, there actually is. Long ago, there actually was third-party releases of this, and I'm pretty sure they're still kicking around. So that being said, it's still not worth the 300.
Yeah, I would say I would agree. Not worth the 300.